Hey Vikings fans! Skol! Can you feel the electricity in the air? The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and the Minnesota Vikings rumor mill is absolutely buzzing with juicy updates about our secondary. With training camp kicking off in just a few days, rookies and quarterbacks report on July 20th, per Vikings.com. We're diving into the hottest gossip swirling around free agents Stephon Gilmore and Asante Samuel Jr. Is our defense about to get a major upgrade? Or are we chasing shadows? Let's break it down in true Vikings fashion. Picture this: a star-studded secondary ready to lock down the NFC North. That's the dream, right? But with big names like Gilmore and Samuel still out there, what's the real deal? Are we on the verge of a blockbuster signing? Or is it all just hype? Grab your purple gear, and let's unpack the latest Vikings news to see what's cooking in Egan. What do you think, Skol Nation? Are we about to land a game-changer for our defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this Vikings party started. The Minnesota Vikings have been making waves this offseason, but the secondary is where the drama's at. Despite re-signing Pro Bowler Byron Murphy Jr. and adding Isaiah Rodgers and Jeff Okudah, per Vikings.com, some fans are wondering if that's enough to compete with the high-flying offenses in the NFC. USA Today recently dropped a bombshell, linking us to veteran cornerback Stephon Gilmore, a two-time All-Pro who was a beast for us last year. At 34, Gilmore still got it. 9 passes defended, 1 interception, and 56 tackles in 15 games in 2024. That's the kind of veteran swagger we need. But here's the kicker. There's talk of a secret deal already in place for Gilmore to return during training camp. Why? Because vets like him don't love the grind of camp, and the Vikings might be playing it smart to save cap space and secure 2026 comp picks, according to Sporting News. If true, this could be a masterstroke by GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. Imagine Gilmore mentoring our young corners while locking down receivers like Justin Jefferson in practice. So what's the vibe, Vikings fans? Do you think Gilmore's already got a handshake deal with us? Or is he slipping away to teams like the Falcons or Dolphins, as USA Today suggests? Hit the comments and let's debate. Now, let's talk about the other big name in the Vikings news cycle. Asante Samuel Jr. This 25-year-old cornerback is a free agent gem, but his injury history is raising eyebrows. ESPN reported that Samuel underwent neck surgery in April 2025, to fix a lingering stinger issue that limited him to just 4 games with the Chargers in 2024. Despite that, his resume is legit: 6 interceptions, 37 passes defended, and 176 tackles in 50 career games. That's the kind of ball-hawking talent that could elevate our secondary to elite status. The rumor mill went wild when SKOR North shared a crazy story about Samuel allegedly rocking a Vikings hat at a Florida nightclub, hinting he'd sign with us post-draft. Vikings territory even had sources saying the rumor wasn't totally outlandish. But with Samuel visiting teams like the Saints and Raiders, per USA Today, we've got competition. His next deal might be a cheap, 1-year prove-it contract, which could be perfect for Minnesota's $21.9 million cap space, per Over the Cap. What's your take, Skol faithful? Is Samuel's injury a deal-breaker? Or should we roll the dice on his upside? Let me know below, and let's keep the purple passion alive. If Gilmore and Samuel slip through our fingers, don't panic, Vikings fans. There are other options out there. Sporting News floated names like Rasul Douglas, a sticky coverage guy with 19 career interceptions, and Jack Jones, a talented but troubled corner who the Vikings had interest in back in 2022 and 2023. Even Jair Alexander could become available if the Packers cut him loose, per Vikings territory. These guys could be low-cost, high-upside additions to our secondary, which already boasts Murphy, Rodgers, Okudah, and a recovering Mekhi Blackmon. The Vikings' defense was no joke last year, finishing 14-3 and making a strong case for the NFC North crown. But with teams like the Lions and Packers throwing the ball all over the yard, we need depth at corner. Purple PTSD points out that our pass defense gave up 239.8 yards per game in 2024, 4th highest in the NFL. Adding a veteran like Douglas or Jones could be the missing piece to shore up Brian Flores' blitz-heavy scheme. So, who's your pick if Gilmore and Samuel don't pan out? Douglas, Jones, or someone else entirely? Drop your dream signing in the comments, and let's build this defense together. Let's zoom out for a second, Skull Nation. Why is the secondary such a hot topic for the Vikings? Well, last year's departures of Stephon Gilmore and Shaquille Griffin left some big shoes to fill, per theheavykingauge.com. Add in Mekhi Blackmon's recovery from a 2024 ACL tear, and you can see why fans are antsy. Our current cornerback room, Murphy, Rogers, Okudah, and Dwight McGlothern, has potential, but it's thin on proven depth. That's why Vikings news is buzzing with speculation about big moves. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has shown he's not afraid to take risks, like signing Rogers, who graded out at 73.2 by PFF in 2024, just behind Murphy's 73.4, per Vikings.com. But with training camp starting July 20th, per Minnesota Vikings on SI, the clock is ticking to lock in a veteran presence. A guy like Gilmore, who knows Flores' system, or Samuel, with his youth and upside, could be the difference between a playoff run and a Super Bowl push. What's the move, Vikings fans? Should Kwesi go all in on a big name, or trust the young guys to step up? Hit the comments and let's hear your game plan. Okay, let's get real about Stephon Gilmore for a minute. The guy's a former Defensive Player of the Year, and at 34, he's still playing at a high level, 56 tackles and 9 passes defended in 2024, per NFL.com. USA Today says he's got options, with teams like the Falcons, Raiders, and Dolphins in the mix, but Minnesota feels like the perfect fit. Why? Because he was in our building last year, thriving under Brian Flores' aggressive defense. That familiarity is gold. There's also the cap situation. With $21.9 million to play with, per over the cap, the Vikings could offer Gilmore a 1-year, $10 million deal like last summer's, per NFL.com. That's a bargain for a guy who's won a Super Bowl and earned over $116 million in his career, per Spotrac. Plus, signing him after April 29th avoids messing with our 2026 comp picks. A savvy move. Asante Samuel Jr.'s story is a roller coaster. Vikings fans. At just 25, he's got elite skills. 6 picks and 26 pass breakups in 4 seasons, per USA Today. But that neck/shoulder injury from 2024 is a red flag. ESPN says he had surgery in April and is set to meet with teams in early July. But we're now at July 19th, and he's still unsigned. That's got fans wondering. Is he a risky bet, or a steal waiting to happen? Purple PTSD highlights Samuel's strong PFF grades in 2022 and 2023, ranking him among the top 30 cornerbacks. A 1-year, prove-it deal could be a low-risk, high-reward move for the Vikings, especially since the Chargers seem done with him, per Vikings territory. Imagine Samuel and Murphy locking down the outside while Flores blitzes like a madman. That's a recipe for chaos in the NFC North. What do you think, Skull Crew? Is Samuel worth the gamble, or should we steer clear of the injury concerns? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's figure out if he's our guy. Let's talk strategy, Vikings fans. Brian Flores' defense loves to blitz. Vikings territory calls him the most blitz-happy DC in the NFL. That puts a ton of pressure on our corners to hold up in coverage. With Shaq Griffin now in Seattle and Cam Bynum gone in free agency, per Heavy.com, our secondary needs a spark. Gilmore's experience or Samuel's youth could be the answer, but there's also buzz about other names like Mike Hilton, a blitzing corner who'd fit Flores' scheme like a glove, per Vikings territory. The Vikings' 14-3 record last year proves we're contenders, but our pass defense needs work. Purple PTSD notes we allowed 239.8 passing yards per game in 2024. Yikes. Adding a proven corner could make us a nightmare for quarterbacks like Jared Goff or Jordan Love. Plus, with J.J. McCarthy set to take over at QB, per Vikings.com, a stout defense could give our rookies some breathing room. So what's the plan, Skull Nation? Do we need a veteran like Gilmore, a young stud like Samuel, or someone else entirely? Hit the comments with your dream secondary lineup. Training camp is almost here, and the Vikings news is heating up. Minnesota Vikings on SI says rookies and QBs report on July 20th, with the full squad joining on July 22nd. That's when we'll get real answers about our secondary. Will Gilmore stroll into Egan like a hero returning home? Will Samuel shock the NFL and sign with us post-surgery? Or will Kwesi surprise us with a dark horse signing like Rasul Douglas or Jack Jones? As Sporting News suggests, the suspense is killing me. One thing's for sure, our cornerback room is a work in progress. Mekhi Blackmon's coming off an ACL injury, Jeff Okudah's got 0 starts from 2024, and Isaiah Rodgers is still proving himself, per Heavy.com. A veteran addition could be the glue that holds it together. And with $21.9 million in cap space, per Over the Cap, we've got the cash to make a splash. What's your gut telling you, Vikings fans? Are we one signing away from a lockdown secondary, or do we roll with what we've got? Drop your hot takes below. All right, Skull Nation, let's wrap this up with a bang. The Minnesota Vikings are at a crossroads with our secondary, and the next few weeks could define our 2025 season. Whether it's bringing back Stephon Gilmore for his veteran savvy, taking a chance on Asante Samuel Jr.'s upside, or snagging another free agent like Rasul Douglas, the Vikings news is giving us plenty to chew on. This team went 14-3 last year, and with Brian Flores' defense and J.J. McCarthy at the helm, we're dreaming of a Super Bowl run. But we need you, the heart and soul of Skull Nation, to weigh in. Should we chase Gilmore, Samuel, or someone else? Are you hyped for training camp, or nervous about our secondary depth? Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Vikings news. Share this video with your fellow Vikings fans, and let's get ready to dominate the NFC North. Skull. Oh, and one last thing. What's your bold prediction for our secondary in 2025? Will we land a big name, or will our young guys step up? Let's hear it, Vikings faithful. Skull forever.